Good evening, everybody. Just a little bit late, but we'll survive. Let's see who we got in the chat. We've got Marianne Bimler, Heartland HQ with Dink and Tank, Todd Legendist. There's the Heather Landskron. I don't know what you're sorry about. We got Troy Sutton. Let's Trade Paint. James Hall, I'm glad to see that you got your surgery, and I hope it's not too painful and you get over it really quick. Recover from it quickly. There's Ann Dale. Good evening. Always a joy to see you come in. Who did I just see? Troy Sutton. Troy Sutton showed me some miniatures that he's working on. That's kind of cool. We'll have to see what's going on with that in the near future. I know he's been working on it for a while and finally, or just recently, put out a little short, or I think that was on Facebook. I believe I saw it. And Dale's probably in her jammies and doesn't want to come up, I bet. But I would love to see her. I saw a little short not too long ago on a dragonfly and automatically thought about her and the story that she had back a while and had to send it to her because it was kind of awesome. There's Lori prepping for heaven. And there's my buddy Chris. Adventure awaits. Yes, Dexter's in the chat. Scratching his head. There's MT Homestead. How you guys doing this evening? Yeah, as far as that picture goes of the group picture for the platoon, yeah, I guess I could look and see that the fort sill that they're at, see how that's going. But yeah, you said you might run it through in your live just now, just about an hour ago. Oh, can't talk. My tongue's all tied up or something. Leanne Gunther. And there's Hiking with Jackie Boy. He's got 20 days left before he retires. How nice is that? I wonder if I'll ever get to retire. What did he say? What did Kevin say? Not Kevin. Sorry, Kevin. James. Did he say anything about his surgery? Right now, I have zero control over my arm right now. Yeah, I would imagine so. That was a torn ligament in your shoulder, right? I know it was a shoulder. Joe Jacobson, good evening. How are you doing? Prayers and blessings to all of the eastern Utah or Iowa. Yes, for sure. Farmers don't get to retire, I'm afraid. I'm a hobby farmer. I'm not a real farmer. That's what my dad and I always say. There's Ace. How you doing this evening? So, man, the leaves that were in the yard, they just did not blow through like they're supposed to. Things are holding it up. And I spent all day long just getting one courtyard cleared out of leaves. And the day before that, I cleared out my fenced-in area as well. That was a job. And some of these trees still have leaves on them. So, but at least I've reduced it. I'll have to probably go over them again. Kumudge in Alaska is in here. Good evening. putting away some stuff for winter, like sprayer pumps and the pool pump. No, I don't go swimming up. We use the pool for water resources. So that's all it's been used for the last probably 7 years. The day of us jumping in the pool is over, I guess. The thing of it is that liner, you know, the pool place that we go to, I asked her, how long does a typical liner last? And she said, about 7 or 8 years, and then you have to replace it. We are going on 20 years on this liner, and it is still holding it up. I did repair a couple of holes in it, and even that was probably 10 to 15 years ago because the stairs dug into the liner. But probably because we don't use it and put a lot of chlorine and stuff in it, it just lasts. But I could go out there, clean it up, make it ready for swimming, and that's when it would blow out. I know that's when it would blow out. Yes, 20 years. And it's a 33-foot round pool above ground. And the body of the pool is in really good condition still, too. Who knows? We really do benefit from using the water from it, so I wouldn't take it down. In fact, if the liner does blow out, I don't know if it wouldn't be a bad idea to just put a new liner in it, because having that water on demand is awesome. You have worked with enough chlorine for 30 years. Yeah, I bet you have. Yep, Heather, 20 years. Who else we got in here? Did I miss anybody? Arlene. Arlene is in here. Thank you for coming in. Troy Sutton, do you ever come up in panel? It'd be kind of interesting to see how you got into that miniatures work that you've done. There's a Massgrave family farm. Who else we got in here? Oh, this is the open mic, just like every week. So anybody who would like to come up and on panel and chit chat about what they did this week. We got Thanksgiving coming next week, the day after Wednesday. So I've been really, for some reason, thinking, probably because the kitchen's coming along so good. And I got the flooring down. I'm going to put the refrigerator back up on the step up of the kitchen, I guess you call it. The whole kitchen's on a raised 1 step high, so I could run all my plumbing and stuff. But I got that done. There's the edging along the step that I have to put on, but I didn't want to put that on and then go to put the refrigerator up on there and mess it up or anything. So I'll put the refrigerator up there first. So maybe tomorrow we'll empty out this. Fortunately, we had an extra refrigerator. The one that was up there was done. I mean, it got whacked by a car. So there's another one. On this property, my house, this barn, and my parents' house, I think, what was it? We have 7 refrigerators. So getting rid of one really didn't hurt all that much. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 refrigerators we had. Now we have 5. Oh, let's see. Lynn Farm Okie. Lynn Farm Okie. Is that the same name, only switched around? There's Old Man King Homestead. Did she change her channel name? Lynn the Okie? Or is that a different channel altogether? And there's we watch YouTube is in here. There's Tish. No judgment. No judgment with Tish Rosh and podcast. The podcast, not end. I don't think I'll be pulling a plug, Tish. I'm in a good mood tonight. I hope somebody comes up and talks with me because I'm in the not a good mood. I'm always in a good mood, right? But I'm in the mood to be in a chat right now. Brian, this is the second channel. I just watched on listening to the music on. Oh, okay. Cool. Kevin. Oh, they have an icon for that, huh, Tish? So how's Ann Dale doing? Let's see. Yeah, we do have the other refrigerator, but it's the blonde. You remember back in the 80s, 90s, maybe even the beginning of the 2000s, everybody had the blonde or the almond colored refrigerator. The one that got whacked by a car was black, and it just looked better for the situation. But I'm just happy we have a refrigerator put up there, so I'm not going to worry about whether it's I'll go find my lipstick. Does that mean you're coming up? Does that mean you're coming up? Or is that something else that I didn't get? Let's see. We got hiking with Jackie boys in here. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Brian?
I haven't seen that angle of your apartment. Is that a different place?
Just usually I'm more like this, but I was messing with stuff and it got turned.
That slight turn threw everything off. Looks like Jackie boy got hold of your mini blind. Like mine.
Yep. Jackie boy or the cat. Yeah.
Dexter tore mine up, which is fine. I mean, it was an old mini blind. It was ready to go anyway. In fact, the whole window's ready. I'm ready to replace my windows in my house. So,
yeah, I just had siding and the roof done.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I'm getting prepped where the major maintenance items I don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
I got one more thing to do, but I'm going to wait till January or February to do it, is to have the HVAC upgraded. And then, next year I'll have plenty of time for hiking.
Oh, that's going to be wonderful. I mean, I would love to do full-time YouTube.
Yep.
Man, I'd be cranking. That lathe would burn up. I'd burn the lathe up.
Yeah, you did.
But you know what? Just getting started, everybody in the chat knows that I'm trying to transition from how my channel is. I mean, I'm still going to do the construction stuff, which we'll be working on soon. I'm just trying to get this kitchen done, and I didn't really want to do that on YouTube because I don't know. It's kind of a, I'm not going to say hodgepodge. It's just nothing that I would want to say, okay, this is how you do something, because it was broken. It was just a broken mess, and I didn't know how to really do a documentary on that. I wasn't in the mood for it. I just wanted to get it done. So I will do a update on the kitchen and at least show it finished after I'm done. Show how, do a recap on what happened and then show it being finished. So it should actually look better than it did originally. And I don't even have pictures of the original kitchen.
One thing I may be doing next year is I may still be making videos for the San Antonio water system for the standard operating procedures.
Will you be able to show those on your channel?
No, those will be proprietary. No.
Are you ready, Ann? He's ready.
Hi. I slipped on a t-shirt and some lipstick. Thought I'd come up and say hello to you since you're chatting tonight.
That's all it takes. See,
how you doing hiking with Jackie boy?
I'm doing good, Ann.
Good. It's good to see you always.
Yeah, thank you. Likewise.
If only Kevin and I could just slap some lipstick on and go on any live we wanted to.
Well, I wanted to show my room. I don't need to change the subject. Y'all go right ahead.
We're all ready for your subject.
Oh, well, I worked in my room today where I have my little studio, and normally I'm on the other side of the room sitting on the couch with the windows behind me, but I did a little decorating, putting all my things up and stuff and having a big time. So
you just got the dragonflies.
I do. I have my dragonflies up there.
Are both of you trying to throw me off today? You threw your angles off in your live in your.
I have
feed,
absolutely have.
Now I feel like I'm lost.
Yeah.
Ann was messaging me earlier and said, "How can we mess with Brian on his live?"
Yeah, right. We schemed about this.
Well, wait until I change my view. I finally opened up the green screen on that I bought.
Oh, you
opened
did?
it up and I started testing with it and playing with it. But I want to see. I bring my computer system out here every Wednesday because this is a legit office, working office. So it's the perfect setting.
It is.
And so I've been doing it ever since I've started my lives almost 3 years ago. Well, no, not. How many years have I been doing lives?
Hey, can I call you back in a minute?
2 years. It's 2 years.
Well, you got a good spot, though, Brian. It is a good spot.
I do. If this was my house and it was already like, I'd just leave it. But I don't want to bring my computer out here every Wednesday. I want to just set it up in my house and have it be ready to go.
Yeah. Well, I'm in what is our living room, but it turned into the grandbaby's playroom. And they are older now and they don't come as often. I have to go to their house because those little stinkers have a social life these days. So
that really sucks, doesn't it?
It does. They don't need their grandmommy that badly anymore. But so I go to their house. And it's not that often. I had to depart with some toys today. And they were my toys, my sister's toys, and my kids' little bitty toys. And so it was hard to think that these grandchildren are too old for those baby toys. It was a trial.
See, I didn't have kids, but my sister had kids. And I was very connected with them. And they came over all the time. So, I did the homework. I did the going to their ball games. I did all that stuff with those kids. So they felt I was very close with them. And then they grew up and
yeah,
You know, we had we just bought that pool that I was talking about.
Okay.
And I had these grandiose ideas that the kids are going to come over, enjoy the pool and everything. And then we just waited too long. We waited too long to get the pool because one by one they start, well, we got to go do something this weekend. And
Right. I know it.
and their parents got a divorce. So it split them up with going to the father's house and the mother's house and never saw them.
It is. It's a trial. It's a trial.
Then they moved. They moved down to where you are.
Oh, they did? Closer to North Carolina? They moved to the south?
Yeah. Mooresville. Okay, I see Lori. Lori's in here. I want to pop her up.
Oh,
good evening. I've never met you. How are you doing?
Tonight was my first night
Cool.
going live with Derek.
Welcome in.
Thank you.
Isn't it interesting to see people that you see in the chat? All these, I've known of her for a while, and I've never seen her.
It's wonderful to see you, Lori. This is Lori Carp, right?
To be here. Lori,
No, Prepping for Heaven.
Lori's Prepping for Heaven.
Oh, I'm sorry, because I haven't ever met Lori Carp either. But Lori's Prepping for Heaven. Okay. Well, welcome in. You're so sweet and kind in everybody's chat.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I try.
You know, just because that's on my mind, if you don't mind telling us before we leave tonight, if you don't mind telling us the dragonfly story,
I would be glad to.
I love
that
story.
It's very touching. It's very touching, and it was absolutely the Lord doing that. So that was
because there's a lot of different people in our chat now than was at the time that you came in as a special guest.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's when you used to have the special guests to come and see it. Now we just all pop up when we can, right?
You know, I would like to do the special guests again. It's just the special guest, it's like in your brain the whole week that you're trying to set up for it and stuff. It doesn't seem like it would take much, but I don't know. I just kind of got away from it. Well, it's not over.
It is.
It's not over.
No, right. But it is quite the effort. You want to have watched some of their channel and their latest videos and do a little study and see what type of people they are, those types of things.
You know, I got myself in a situation a couple of times where I met somebody, I asked them to be on my channel, fully intending to, you know, cram on their channel because they were new or whatever.
Sure.
And didn't know the channel all that well, but that's what my channel is about, is showcasing other channels is what I was doing. So I saw a new channel. I wanted it. And there was a couple of times where I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And I got up to the live and I had only watched one or rushed through a couple of videos. And I'm like, tell us about your channel.
Yeah.
Any questions to ask you? Because I don't know anything.
That's right. And unfortunately, the people that come up on your channel they've never seen my channel before. They just had me come on. They don't know my channel, which is fine.
Let's take some time and Lori, tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
Tell us something, our story, whatever you want to tell.
I don't know what to tell you. What do you want to know?
Well, where did you get your name from, Lori Prepping for Heaven?
Well, when I first started watching a lot of stuff on YouTube, I was always watching prepping channels, and then I started finding out that a lot of the people that were doing prepping were also homesteaders, and I really liked that kind of thing. So when I decided that I wanted to start chatting, because they won't let you chat unless you have an account.
Right.
So I had to open up a YouTube account. And when I was trying to figure out what the heck I wanted to name it, I figured I'd just, because I'm also into, I, I'm very into Christian things, and
Yeah, sure. You're a believer.
I'm Catholic.
Okay.
It goes with the program.
It does.
So I figured, well, what do Christians do? They prep for heaven.
Well, you know what? We're all in a holding pattern anyway. So just
Exactly.
waiting for that trip.
Yep.
Simon
good for
Lyons
you.
is in here.
I'm sorry.
That's all.
Who? Simon. And I think Simon Lyons said this was the first time they've been in your chat.
Yeah, that's the first time I've seen. Although I think I recognize the channel name from other people's chats.
Yeah, we're glad to have you in here, Simon. And Troy Sutton always being so sweet and kind from West Virginia.
Now,
I see all kinds of familiar names in there saying hello. So hello, everybody.
Lori, you said in the beginning you were in somebody else's. You've been in other people's panels, right? Like this.
Once earlier tonight on Derek's. Derek 1973.
Yeah.
He was doing a live, and for some reason he was inviting people up. So I decided I'm gonna give it a try and see how it works.
It's fun.
So I did.
Well, I tell you what, that's what I did, Lori, the first few times. I came up on other people's panels, and it gave me the courage to possibly go live by myself because, we're really talking to a bunch of friends when we're up here. Even though we might be in different geographical areas, we feel like we're in the same room.
Yeah.
And Broke Farmer actually had me come up. He called me out, man. Andale, you've never been on live. You need to come up here. And I was trying to figure out StreamYard, man. I could figure it out. When I came up, I had reverb and all kinds of crazy stuff. It was nuts, but that's great. That's good. Good for you. Now you know how to do it. You can do it on yourself.
Yep.
There's Barry Woodworks.
He's a maker.
Yeah. He was doing Christmas trees on the lathe earlier today. A couple hours. Was it an hour and a half ago or something like that?
Hey, Heartland HQ with Dink and Tank. I'm glad you dropped in tonight too. And Debbie Drock. Now you tell me, Brian, whenever you're ready to start with story time, I'll be glad to talk about these dragonflies.
Cool. Do it. You're at the half-hour mark. You might as well do it now.
Okay, so
story time.
Story time. It's actually the truth. Every minute, every word of it is the truth, and it was such a gift to me. That's why dragonflies are so important to me, and it doesn't have any kind of detriment with the Lord or anything like that, but it does remind me that he is close to me and has me covered no matter what. So there was a time, and it's been 6 years now, that my mother was crossing over to the other side She was heading to heaven, and she had been diagnosed with cancer at 91. She showed us how to do it. She showed us how to go. She was taking exercise classes every week, going to current events. She was in a senior spelling bee club that she would go around on for senior spelling bees. She was a school teacher for most of her adult life and continued, even though she was living in senior living, and it was independent senior living. And I was blessed enough to be one of her primary caregivers. It was my sister, her sister, and me, and we would take turns about every 3 or 4 days. And Mama did really good for a really long time. And she didn't stay in the bed but a week before she passed, but things were beginning to turn. And you're never ready. You never, ever, I don't care how old you are, you're never ready for your mama to go, even though it was a good thing because it was not a time for her to stay. But I was relieved that day. Things had gotten worse, and I knew that the end was coming soon, but I was the one that was rainbows and butterflies. I mean, when I was looking after my mama, everything was grand. I wanted her heart to be happy, her mind to be clear, her apartment to be clean, her belly full, and whatever she wanted. I was the happy girl. I would sit and paint and read to her, and we had all kinds of wonderful discussions. But this time was different, and I knew it was coming. And so when I left, I couldn't stop crying. I just fell apart. I just fell apart because this is the hard time, right? When it's in the last stages. And I was supposed to go pick up my grandson from his school in a couple of hours. And it was in Sneed's Ferry. She was in Wilmington. I drove to Sneed's Ferry and I went straight to the ocean. And I thought, I've got a minute before I have to pick him up. I can't be sobbing when you go pick up your grandson. I just couldn't get myself together. I didn't have it in me. And I kept saying, Lord, I don't know if I could do this. I just don't know. I mean, this is too hard. It's my mama. I just don't know whether I can be her main caregiver anymore. And I sat out on the beach and I looked out over the ocean, and the seagulls were coming down and getting their fish, and the ocean was rolling in, and I could see that it was as if the Lord was speaking to me, saying, Anne, I've given the birds everything they need to sustain themselves. The ocean flows, and everything you need I have already provided for you. It is here. I will not leave you now in the hardest time of your life. So I got up and I wiped my face off, pulled up my pants legs because I had long pants on. I started walking down the beach. And as I began to walk down the beach a little bit, I thought, well, okay, Lord, you and me, we got this. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to get through. And I had had some experiences with dragonflies before that represented people that had gone on before me. Just in very special times, they would come and land by me or on me or be all around me. And that was so sweet and kind. And I looked down and the ocean flowing, coming back and forth. And there was a dragonfly in the water. And it was turned upside down. And I went, oh, no. Oh, well, that dragonfly's gone. He's dead. And his little legs were wiggling. I went, oh, he's still alive.
When you're done with your story, I got to tell this. Keep going.
Okay. Okay.
But mark that what you just said.
Okay. So I reached down and I was kind of scared to touch it. It wasn't the prettiest dragonfly I've ever seen. It was big. And I scooped up some sand and got him up and put him over on the beach, on the shore, turned him over and said, okay, dragonfly, you dry off. You're going to be fine. And I began to walk away. Well, when I did, that dragonfly flew up and leaped on my pant leg. It got on it was on me, on my pant leg. I thought, well, hello, that's okay. Now, mind you, there was not another dragonfly on the beach anywhere. A dragonfly to me represents the Lord. And it jumped up on my pant leg. So me and the dragonfly, we walked down the beach. We kept on going. I was talking like a crazy person. Everybody on that beach must have thought I'd lost my mind because I was talking to this bug on my pants. If it had been any other bug ever, any other type of insect, I would have never, ever stopped to help it. Never in a million years. But it was meant for me, especially. So I turned around and I walked back and I sat down on the beach. I'm telling you, this dragonfly stayed on my pant leg for the longest time. And I sat down and I said, it's okay. It's okay, Lord. I know that you're with me. I know you're giving me strength. And at that time, looking at this crazy dragonfly that was still on my pant leg, I felt this weight lift off of me completely. And I was totally renewed and understood that, yes, I can be with my mama through the deepest, darkest times because I'm not alone. I had the Lord with me to be able to do this. I knew that it was going to be okay. And so I picked him up off my pants and I put him down on, because I said, I got to go get my grandson now. I mean, it's time's clicking away. Got to go get my grandson. So I picked that dragonfly up and put it back down on the sand, and he flew up on my shirt. And he stayed there just on the tail end of my shirt for the longest time. And I looked down and I said, I'm okay. I'm going to be strong enough. I know that you've talked to me, Lord. Thank you for bringing me this presence. And I know that with your help, I'm going to be all right. And the dragonfly flew away. And from that time on, I never had any other troubles. Mama got worse and she eventually passed. But there was always a peace that was with me, that stayed with me the whole time. So that's my dragonfly story, that even in your deepest, darkest, most terrible, falling apart, cannot take one more step kind of moment, there's always hope. And the love of the Lord can do all kinds of things for you. So that was my personal story. That happened to me. So there you go.
That's a neat story, a cool story.
Yes.
The thing of it, only because you said what you said about helping it out of the water, there was a dragonfly that I helped out of the water in the pool that day. And then I saw that video just after that.
Oh,
and then,
wow.
That dragonfly, they were talking, I forgot what the storyline was. If you remember, I don't know. But it was somebody that they were thinking about. And this dragonfly just kept flying back to them and flying back to him.
Yes.
And landing on his finger.
Yeah.
That was cool. So that's why I sent that to you.
Thank you.
You came in. That's why I wanted to hear your story.
It was beautiful. It was absolutely a beautiful story and so true. And I mean, it's just my kind of little symbol that the Holy Spirit's all around me and having a good time, and that I'm not alone, and that when I don't have any strength, nothing and can't do nothing, but with the Lord I can. So I'm just tickled about that.
I've heard many stories of not necessarily dragonflies, but either cardinals or blue jays or whatever doing interesting things for when people are going through tough times.
Yeah.
I went to go to the eye doctor, and this is probably kind of totally unrelated, but I went to the eye doctor and we were in the, like, they have a dental hygienist when you go to the dentist. Who is the woman who takes care of you before you see the eye doctor? Whoever that is.
Ophthalmologist.
Well, I went in and she was, doing certain tests and stuff, getting me ready for the eye doctor. And there's this big picture window, and the cardinal kept slamming into the window.
Oh.
And I said, that bird's going to put itself out. And he hasn't yet. He's been doing it for a month.
Oh my gracious.
Oh my God.
And then she put me out into the waiting room, and the waiting room is kind of adjacent to that room, and I could still hear that bird banging on the window.
Oh my goodness. Well, I
was
think,
what are you trying to tell us?
Yeah. If we have eyes to see and ears to hear, I think you can find the most precious little gifts, the most bizarre things. I mean, I had not at that time had never read a book about the dragonflies or seen a movie or it was just personal to me. Since then, goodness, dragonflies and cardinals and things have been around for a lot of people in their time of need. So anyway, it was a pretty awesome time, healing time for me. So that's what they represent is good stuff. But it was explained to me because the Lord wants us to do. I don't want to turn this into a church service. I'm not gonna. But
I don't care.
my, my husband said, and we do have to do our part. And if you had not gone in and picked the dragonfly up to help it, that was your portion of being able to be closer to the Lord. So I think that's really cool. Thank you, Lynn Okie Farm. I've thought about writing that down. I did a video on it because it was a special time. It was not long after my mama had passed away that I shared that dragonfly story. So I don't want to make everybody quiet.
I asked you to when I had you as special guest, I asked you to tell that story because I had heard the story on your channel. You had told the story, so I wanted you to tell it again.
Thank you.
And that was a while ago, probably what, a year and a half ago since I had.
It's been a couple of years. It's been a couple of years. This is a little over 2 years.
Pretty and Pooch is in here. That's Pooch. Tissue.
Hey, Pooch.
And there's no judgment here. She was in here. And there's Leonard Mountain Homestead. That's Amy. She's here. She's here.
Yay.
And then I did mention Bailey Woodworks is in here. I need to attach more dragonflies to my backyard to get rid of mossy. Any advice?
Any advice?
Rid of mossies?
I don't know.
What the heck are Mozzie?
I'm not sure what that is. We watch YouTube. Says she'd love to write a song about it. I would love to hear it. That would be great, honey. That would be great.
You can put would artificial dragonflies help?
Oh, mosquitoes.
What's that?
Oh, mosquitoes. Oh, yeah. Dragonflies do eat mosquitoes. That's another advantage.
Is that what that is? Mozzies are mosquitoes?
Okay.
I never heard that before. Who else was? Oh, Webb's Web is in here. I am not familiar with that channel.
Oh, maybe.
Webb's Web is an awesome, generous human being. He's big in technology as far as websites. He has a channel that he has a web page, actually, Webb's Web, that goes on, and he tries to announce everyone's lives that are coming up or meetups or information about everything. You can always go to Webb's Web. Very helpful in platforms and very helpful in anyone that has any technical difficulties. He's a nice man. He's a nice man.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming in, Webb's Web.
Well,
He's good friends with Devil Dog. You know Devil Dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's good friends with him. They're both up there trying to teach this old lady how to do a different kind of streaming service, and I'm having a time.
Ralph. Is that his name, Ralph?
Ralph is from Webb's Web. That's his name.
And then
And
Chris put us.
there you go. Good.
Check that
Yeah.
out, people. There's DJ Turneroo.
Hey, DJ Turneroo. How you doing?
Brian.
Cardinals are awesome. Yes.
People are probably wondering who everybody is. You might want to put the names down so people know who we are.
Banner. Is it banner or is it brand?
I think it's in the
Overlays.
layout. I think it's in the layout. If you push the layout a little bit, nope. You push the layout a
They
little bit.
changed
smaller
it. That's
for
why
us.
it's kind of got me goofed up.
They have changed it, and I'm having a terrible time trying to work these things.
Where is
I
that?
don't know.
Okay,
I
it's
don't know
in,
enough about it, so I'm new at this.
It's in the where you see the 4 pictures. I think there's 4 smaller pictures, and it allows the names of the channels to be at the bottom. Lindy Oakey says she's got a story about cardinals.
Settings? No.
Now you won't be able to do it, Lori. Prepping for heaven. It's just
No,
Brian.
probably not.
It's Brian's control. It's all good.
I don't
So-
understand why I can't find. I mean, I always went straight to it. Never thought
They
of
may
it.
have changed it.
They
may
did.
have
Change.
changed
I know, and I figured it out. What's this? Oh, okay. Bubble. Show display name.
Oh, there
Right
you
here.
go. Good for you.
Bubble.
You
I like
figured
this one
it's called Bubble.
Bubble. Well,
So Kevin, have you been on any big hikes and things lately?
yes.
Last weekend, I met up with Justin from Backroad Freedom, and we did our fall Lost Maple State Natural Area hike.
Oh goodness.
Yep. It was Justin. His girlfriend came along. Mine couldn't make it Saturday, but I brought Jackie Boy with me, and he was down the trail.
There you go. I admire that so much because I am not a trailblazer. I think I can get there, but I don't know about getting back. So
Hello, Amy.
Oh, I gotta get back.
Yeah, and I discovered it's called having your trail legs. Of course, summer is way too hot to be out there,
right.
and
Good night, James.
finally getting out there, my legs were killing me when I finished.
Oh, I bet.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
wait, you called it what? What was it that you mark on the trails?
What's that?
What do you
Trail?
mark your trail?
Not really. Not
Okay.
this place.
I figured
This
that.
place I've been on every trail in that whole park.
Gotcha.
But that gives me an idea for a future video. If I do the primitive camping out there, I could do it where I do every trail on one video.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would be good. That would be interesting.
Let me see. That would be about 14 miles.
Wow.
Oh,
Been
That's
a
a
long
long
time
walk.
since I've walked 14 miles, much less climbed 14 miles. Brian,
Well,
when you go,
there are some climbs there, you know.
when you go on trail hiking with him, Brian, do you do the climbing?
When I go with who?
Haven't you been with Jackie Boy? I thought you had been
Chris.
They were Chris.
Adventure
Okay.
awaits right here.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. That first one we went on was probably the most climbing and crawling, but I liked it. I really that was a pretty cool adventure. But yeah.
That's good. That's
Okay.
great.
I forgot
Really?
what did you originally ask me?
Well, I was wondering if you did some climbing in any of your trails that you went on.
We
And
didn't climb like ropes and all that stuff, but we did climb up pretty big inclines and through rocks and between skinny rocks. I was
Oh
just
my gosh.
skinny enough to get there. Well,
The
I'm sorry.
only hi.
I did a trail one time. This was well before even YouTube even existed. It was at Big Bend National Park, and I went up a trail up to Emery Peak, and that was an elevation gain of
Night,
over
Amy.
2,000 feet.
Oh my gosh.
Wanda Henry's in here.
Hi, Wanda Henry. I'm glad you're here. And the only trails I've been on were at Boone, North Carolina, around Asheville and that area. My cousin lives in Boone, and so we went on a couple of
Night,
of
Amy.
hiking trails. That was hilarious because both my aunt and my aunt went with me. 20 years my senior, climbed better than I did, but we had both had knee replacements and we're trying to get up rocks and over here and they're going trying to give me a shove from the bottom up. Come on, man, you can do it.
You just had a knee replacement. Where are you? What are you gonna do next?
Jeez.
We did find a ledge though on the mountain, on the side of the mountain that was huge. It was like a parking lot ledge, and you could walk. And me, being a little scared of heights, had a little bit of trouble getting to the edge, but it was gorgeous views. Wow, the
Oh
views!
yeah,
Oh my gosh!
You know, if I ever get knee replacement, I'm gonna take
Night,
up river
Debbie.
dancing.
Dancing. Okay, you let me know how that turns out.
That always looks so painful to watch.
It
It looks like
does.
they're just jamming their knees.
oh,
Yeah,
when they used the mallet.
Oh. No, you know what river dancing is?
yeah.
It's where they have their arms to the side and they're dancing only with their legs, and it looks violent.
And their knees and ankles are just going to town.
And
Yeah.
then they go into the hospital after they're done.
When I look at them and they're all young people, and I go, "Oh, honey, when you get to be 65, you're gonna need some knees, baby. You're gonna need some knees."
Well, I don't think they use their hips so much, so they're going to need hips and ankles.
Yeah.
Who was it? What I just saw somebody, and I meant to say something. I'll think of it.
That's okay. So Ace says, "Thank y'all for sharing your time with for Old Man Homestead." Yep, he comes on in about
3
8
minutes.
minutes, 7 or 8 minutes. Oh yeah, I can't see anything on
Minutes.
the clock.
It's 57.
3 minutes. Yeah, it comes on in 3 minutes. Well, Brian, because it's just 3 minutes left. I'm sorry, Kevin.
Oh, you're fine. I was going to mention to you, I actually have relatives that live in Greensboro.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, some fellow Carolinians.
Yep.
North Carolina's a great place to live.
You know, I have visited there, but it's been a long time. But there'd be probably quite a bit I would like there.
I'm sure. Now, North Carolina is so wide. I live on the coast area, northeastern North Carolina, close to the coast and the Virginia line. But we've got the coast, the flatlands, and the mountains. And we got just about a little bit of anything in our
A little
state.
bit of everything.
Yeah, that's right.
Texas has
Oh,
a
Kinda
little
like
bit of
Massachusetts.
everything.
Chris from Adventure Awaits mentioned climbing that sand wall. Yeah, that was the same day as what I was talking about, but that was tough. We got up there, we were wheezing.
One thing on my last video, Chris pointed out one thing, and I did not know this had happened until I was doing the editing. Because Justin, Jackie Boy, and I were going to do a walk by. And I set up the GoPro, and there was a gust of wind that blew the leaves. And when I saw that, I didn't know that had happened. And I thought, you know what, that just something that wasn't planned, but it was too cool to leave out.
Absolutely. That is cool.
Yeah, you don't
Oh,
leave.
old man King says he's having a hard time with his laptop tonight and his phone won't connect to StreamYard.
Oh, bummer.
He's having a tough time, but hopefully you'll get it straight. You've got 60 seconds.
Good night, Wanda.
Call for another 5 minutes if you need it.
That's right. Well, Brian, thank you so much for having me up. It's always such a pleasure to be in
Yes,
your
it is.
company.
It is always.
Thank you,
I enjoy
Brian.
seeing everybody
Yep, same here.
every week. Yes, it was really nice meeting you.
Yeah,
Yes,
nice
Lord.
meeting you, Lori.
Lori.
Good to see you too, Ann.
Yes, you too, Kevin.
Thank you.
So,
Ace says Brian, no shave November. Will you in December? Well, no, he's not shaving that beard. We're not going to let him shave
shaved
that.
in 3 Novembers. So, okay. Old Man King Homestead is on next. He's having some difficulty, but be patient and go over there and hang out until he gets it going. And I want to thank everybody that came into the chat and my moderators for protecting my channel.
Yes.
And thank you for Ann and Kevin and Lori that came up on my panel. It was fun. And we'll see you next week, Wednesday, 9 o'clock Central. Bye for now.
Sounds good. Bye, everybody.
Bye.